Hi, I want to know if you're ready for a conversation about how Stoicism can help us deal with annoying people. That's right, we're going to talk about the 7 types of people we should avoid, according to Stoic teachings. Don't fall for these traps. If you want to improve your friendships and avoid confusion, you're in the right place. So, let's find out together how Stoicism can be a guide on this journey. Hit play and join me. Epictetus, the illustrious Stoic philosopher, left us with a wise reflection that resonates through the centuries. The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best. This maxim, besides being a gem of Stoic thought, is a timeless guidance on the vital importance of choosing our companions wisely. In Stoic philosophy, every aspect of life is considered an opportunity to cultivate virtue and achieve wisdom. And the choice of our companions is no exception. The connection between Epictetus' wisdom and the principle of being the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with becomes evident when exploring the foundations of Stoicism. The Stoics believed that the quality of our interactions directly influences our mental and moral disposition. Therefore, Epictetus' quote serves as a vivid reminder that by surrounding ourselves with individuals who inspire, encourage, and promote our best, we are indeed shaping our own character and pursuing the path of ethical excellence. The modern idea of being the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with resonates deeply with the Stoic ethos. The concept suggests that we absorb characteristics, habits, and attitudes from those we regularly associate with. In Stoic philosophy, this principle is interpreted as an opportunity to choose influences that align with Stoic values of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. By establishing a connection between Epictetus' wisdom and the modern saying about the average of the 5 people, we realize that the conscious choice of positive relationships is not just a strategy for a more pleasant life but a practice that reflects the foundations of Stoic pursuit of moral excellence and inner serenity. In this context, the journey toward self-transformation and virtue is intrinsically intertwined with the choices we make about whom we share our time and energy with. In the journey toward virtue and inner serenity proposed by Stoic philosophy, the careful choice of people with whom we share our lives plays a crucial role. Stoic philosophy not only encourages us to cultivate virtues but also warns us about negative influences that can compromise our progress. Here, we identify and discuss 7 types of people that, from the Stoic perspective, can significantly hinder our advancement on the path of wisdom and self-transformation. Person to avoid. Number 1. The complainer. The complainer is that person who seems to find faults in everything, from the weather to work, to the food at a popular restaurant. Constant exposure to this behavior can have a significant negative impact on our mental and emotional well-being. Stoic philosophy, advocating for the pursuit of inner serenity, highlights the importance of directing our energy toward actionable solutions rather than fixating on incessant problems. When immersed in an environment permeated by constant complaints, it acts like a slow-dripping faucet, depleting our emotional reserves. Stoic strategies for dealing with complainers are both pragmatic and philosophical. Firstly, limiting exposure to these individuals whenever possible is considered. Whether through conscious choices in social interaction or setting clear boundaries in the workplace, minimizing the presence of the complainer is an important step in preserving our inner peace. If limitation is not a viable option, Stoic philosophy guides us to adopt a mental stance of detachment during constant venting. Comparing complaints to a passing storm, we can realize that they are temporary and powerless in the face of the unshakable mountain that is our inner tranquility. Moreover, Stoics encourage us to redirect the conversation toward actionable solutions or more constructive topics. In a collaborative environment, for instance, the persistence of a complainer can undermine team morale and divert focus from finding productive solutions. By prioritizing the search for practical answers instead of engaging in constant complaint, we keep our energy directed toward progress. Ultimately, the Stoic approach to dealing with the complainer is based on preserving our mental peace and directing our efforts toward constructive actions. By adopting strategies that limit exposure and redirect mindset toward solutions, Stoic philosophy empowers us to face the challenge of the complainer without compromising our own inner balance. Person to avoid. Number 2. The drama magnet. Encountering the drama magnet in our social circle is like dealing with a constant storm, a presence that tends to disrupt and drain the calmness of life. These individuals seem to attract crises, conflicts, and controversies as if they were a whirlwind, threatening the stability and serenity that Stoics value. The disruptive nature of continuous drama not only affects one's life but can quickly become a toxic influence that compromises inner peace. Constant exposure to tumultuous situations can create a cycle of emotional exhaustion and distraction, diverting attention from fundamental goals and values. Faced with this challenge, Stoic philosophy offers practical approaches to managing relationships with drama magnets. An effective strategy is the practice of reflective listening. Instead of offering immediate advice or taking sides in the dramatic situations presented by the drama magnet, we can mirror their words back, providing an emotional mirror. This technique not only offers emotional support but also prevents us from directly getting involved in the whirlwind of drama. Another valuable Stoic approach involves selective unavailability. Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of valuing our time and energy. Becoming selectively unavailable means setting clear boundaries, turning off the phone at certain times, or focusing exclusively on periods of work or personal development. This practice is not a rejection of empathy but a conscious protection against the constant intrusion of dramatic events that can compromise our emotional balance. By applying these Stoic strategies, we seek not only to preserve our inner peace but also to maintain focus on fundamental goals and values. By adopting reflective listening and selective unavailability, we can manage the influence of drama magnets in our lives, promoting the tranquility and resilience highly valued by Stoic philosophy. Person to avoid. Number 3, the pessimist, description of the persistent negativity of pessimists and its impact on personal goals. Stoic methods, such as seeking advice and positive confrontation, to deal with interactions with pessimists. Encountering the pessimist in our path is like facing a constant downpour of discouragement. These individuals persistently cast doubts and criticisms on our aspirations and achievements, acting like a dark cloud threatening to overshadow our positive outlook. The constant negativity of pessimists not only creates an unfavorable environment but can undermine our determination and self-confidence. If left unaddressed, this persistent aura of doubt can turn our vibrant efforts into a grey canvas of uncertainties. Faced with this challenge, Stoic philosophy offers wise methods for dealing with pessimists. An effective strategy is to invert the conventional role of interaction, seeking advice instead of just sharing our plans or aspirations. When we position pessimists as advisors, they are less likely to attack our ideas and may offer more constructive feedback. Another valuable Stoic approach involves what we might call positive confrontation. Instead of passively absorbing the negativity of pessimists, we can challenge them to think of solutions. If they claim we will never succeed in changing careers, we can respond with an intriguing perspective, asking how they think someone could make a successful transition. By employing these Stoic strategies, we not only protect our positive outlook but also encourage a more constructive conversation. Seeking advice and positively confronting are effective ways to neutralize the persistent negativity of pessimists, turning potentially harmful interactions into opportunities for personal growth. Person to avoid. Number 4, the victim mentality, portrait of the victim mentality and its potential to drag others into a cycle of negativity. Stoic advice on the importance of setting boundaries and not getting involved in the victim's narrative. Encountering the victim in our circle is like stumbling upon a constant whirlwind of negativity. These individuals have a tendency to blame the board, the pieces, or even their opponents for every wrong move, creating an endless narrative of misfortunes in which they are powerless protagonists. The victim mentality not only affects one's own life but can also drag others into the cycle of negativity. Spending hours listening to a friend blame their failed relationship solely on ex-partners not only consumes time but can subtly influence others to adopt a similar mindset. Faced with this challenge, Stoic philosophy offers wise advice on the importance of setting boundaries and not getting involved in the victim's narrative. An effective strategy is what we could call compassionate detachment. Showing empathy and kindness but refusing to rescue the victim from situations they need to face on their own establishes a crucial boundary to preserve our own mental health. Another valuable Stoic approach involves following the principle of positive confrontation. Instead of accepting the victimization narrative passively, we can challenge the victim to think of solutions. If they claim they cannot progress in their careers due to external circumstances, we can respond with a constructive approach, questioning how someone could overcome such challenges. By applying these Stoic strategies, we not only protect our own positive mindset but also encourage a more constructive approach to life from the victim. Setting boundaries and positively confronting are effective ways to preserve our inner peace and, at the same time, create opportunities for personal growth. Person to avoid. Number 5, the toxic positivist, explanation of how excessive positivity can be invalidating and disconnected. Stoic-inspired strategies, including engaging in discussions that embrace both light and shadow, to navigate interactions with toxic positivists. Encountering the toxic positivist in our lives is like coming across a gardener who insists on ignoring the weeds and insects, focusing only on the fully bloomed flowers. While their intention may be to inspire optimism, this excessively positive approach can invalidate legitimate feelings and create a disconnect from reality. Excessive positivity, when applied inappropriately, can make others feel misunderstood or even isolated in their experiences. For example, going through a tough breakup and being met with a simple "smile and be happy" may fail to acknowledge the complexity of the emotions involved. Faced with this challenge, Stoic-inspired strategies offer a balanced approach to navigating interactions with toxic positivists. One of them is engaging in discussions that embrace both light and shadow. Instead of simply dismissing negative emotions, we can validate their existence while also acknowledging positive aspects. Another valuable strategy is practicing what psychologists call emotional granularity. Rather than just rejecting negative emotions, we recognize and label our feelings in a detailed manner. Saying, for example, "I'm feeling a bit melancholic today due to X, and that's okay," is a liberating statement that embraces the complexity of emotional experience. By applying these Stoic strategies, we seek not only to maintain a healthy balance between optimism and realism but also to build deeper understanding bridges with toxic positivists. By engaging in balanced discussions and practicing emotional granularity, we can create spaces for more authentic understanding and meaningful connections. Person to avoid. Number 6, the manipulator, description of how manipulators subtly alter someone's life script for personal gain. Stoic tactics, such as fogging and setting clear boundaries, to neutralize manipulation. Encountering the manipulator in our path is like discovering a shadowy producer who subtly rewrites the script of our life without us realizing, until the day we notice that our story has veered completely off the desired course. Manipulators are skilled in the art of emotional or psychological maneuvering. They may use flattery, guilt, or even deception to steer someone in a direction that exclusively benefits themselves. For instance, a friend who constantly suggests that you should pay for dinner, appealing to a challenging situation they are facing. Faced with this challenge, Stoic philosophy offers wise tactics to neutralize manipulation. An effective strategy is what some experts call fogging. This technique involves agreeing with any truth in the manipulator's statements but refusing to be swayed by emotional coercion. If they say you are successful and should pay for dinner, you can respond by agreeing with the success but suggesting splitting the bill, as is customary. Another valuable Stoic approach is setting clear boundaries and enforcing them. If the manipulator constantly seeks favors or uncomfortable commitments, learning to assertively say no is essential. Maintaining a calm tone and clear words, such as, "I can't lend money, but I'm here to offer emotional support," establishes a boundary without compromising the friendship. By applying these Stoic strategies, we seek not only to preserve our control over the script of our life but also to reinforce the notion that we are the main authors of our story. Neutralizing manipulation, through fogging and assertiveness in setting boundaries, allows us to remain in command of our narrative and personal choices. Person to avoid. Number 7, the time vampire, description of how time vampires disrupt daily routines and tasks. Stoic-inspired strategies, such as the Pomodoro technique and saying no, to protect time and personal priorities. Encountering the time vampire in our lives is like having an off-key intruder joining the carefully crafted symphony of our daily routines. These individuals, often unconsciously, interrupt the harmonious flow of our everyday tasks. Time vampires can manifest as colleagues who constantly interrupt with trivial questions, turning a productive day into a series of fragmented moments. Or perhaps they are friends who invite to unwanted social events, creating a sense of obligation to attend and draining precious time and energy. Faced with this challenge, Stoic philosophy-inspired strategies offer effective approaches to protect our time and priorities. One of them is the Pomodoro technique, a time management method that involves breaking work into intervals, traditionally 25 minutes, separated by short breaks. During these intervals, it is made clear that we do not want to be disturbed, establishing a vital boundary to protect our most productive moments. Another valuable strategy is the practice of saying no. Saying no to social invitations or requests that do not align with our priorities is not only acceptable but essential for well-being. A simple refusal, like, "Thank you for the invitation, but I won't be able to attend," asserts our needs and priorities without creating unnecessary conflicts. By applying these Stoic strategies, we seek not only to protect our time as a valuable resource but also to ensure that every note in our daily symphony is aligned with our goals and purposes. Respecting our priorities, through the Pomodoro technique and the power of saying no, allows us to lead our lives with purpose, preventing time vampires from disturbing the harmony of our days. The importance of self-awareness in recognizing and improving our own behavior. Amidst the complexities of human interactions, self-reflection emerges as a fundamental tool for understanding and enhancing our roles in relationships. This introspective journey not only broadens our understanding of interpersonal dynamics but also empowers us to actively shape the quality of our connections. Self-awareness, in this context, plays a crucial role. By looking inward, we are challenged to recognize behavior patterns, identify areas for improvement, and understand how our actions impact those around us. This awareness not only enriches our relationships but also contributes to significant personal growth. When faced with the 7 types of people to be avoided in Stoic philosophy, it is tempting to simply identify these behaviors in others. However, true enlightenment arises when we turn inward and ask ourselves, have I inadvertently played any of these roles in someone else's life? I encourage all readers to actively engage in this reflective process. Ask yourselves if, at any point, you may have acted as a manipulator, a drama magnet, or even a time vampire in relation to others. Honesty with oneself is the first step toward growth. I invite you to share your reflections and experiences in the comments section. Open dialogue enriches collective understanding, allowing us to learn from each other. If this discussion has sparked any realization, epiphany, or even a simple reflection, share it with us. Together, we can tread the path of understanding and improvement, both in relationships and within ourselves.